Right, okay, so as people are filtering in, I know we said we'd start at 3:30. The session is booked for an hour, but I would be surprised if it does take an hour. I've got a presentation to go through, which should take about 20 minutes. I'll rattle through that the best I can. And then we will have some time for questions at the end. We understand that you might have some questions. So Claire will be monitoring the chat, so she'll see the questions coming through. And at the end of each slide, we'll be able to answer some of those questions as we go. So yeah, I hope you're all really excited as we are for STEMFest Net Zero. We're really proud to be working in partnership with the Newcastle United Foundation on this event. So I will just introduce the staff from the partnership who are here today. So I'll go first. My name is Josh Minto. I'm the Education Relationships Manager at the North East STEM Hub. So I am the schools facing person for our team. And we also have Claire as well from the Hub. I don't know if you want to say a little bit, Claire.
Yeah, I think some of you know me already. So I've worked in STEM education in the North East for about 27 years. And I'm the Business Development Manager from the North East STEM Hub, and I'm actually project managing the event, the STEMFest Net Zero event.
Yeah, and then we have Gavin as well, who's the NU Futures Manager from the Newcastle United Foundation. Gavin, I don't know if you want to give yourself a quick introduction.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gavin Ferry, New Futures Manager from Newcastle United Foundation. I oversee all our 11 to 25 provision at the foundation, and really much looking forward to the event and welcoming all the schools to St James's Park.
Great, thanks, Gavin. Now I'll give Gavin a few minutes in a moment to talk about the NU Futures programme and how schools can get involved with the Newcastle United Foundation. But I would just like, first of all, because I know some of you will know who the North East STEM Hub are, but I understand that some of you might not. So the North East STEM Hub, we are obviously based in the North East. We cover the region from up in the borders in Scotland all the way down to Tees Valley. And we deliver 2 contracts at the minute in that region. So the first contract is the STEM Ambassador Programme. It's a very successful ambassador programme where we have over 1,400 STEM ambassadors who can deliver activities in your school. They're all DBS checked. They are people who are working in the STEM industry who can come to your school and deliver activities, whether that's a careers talk, whether that's actually an interactive hands-on activity relating to their job. There's a lot of different things that our ambassadors can support with. So we do have a website, www.stem.org.uk, where you can go onto that website, make an account as a teacher, and you can actually advertise activities. So if you want to run a certain session or maybe a STEM day or a STEM week in your school, you can advertise for an ambassador to come in and support that activity. The advert goes out to all of our ambassadors, and they can register their interest to support that activity, which means you can have a chat facility with them to arrange further details. We also deliver a contract called the Enrichment Contract, which covers STEM clubs, SRO, which is the European Space Agency training, and Nuffield research placements as well. So if you have any further questions about who we are, what we do, if you want to arrange a meeting to see how we can support your school, please don't hesitate to get in touch. My email address is on the last slide, but I think you have my email address already from when I sent out the joining instructions, of course, for this meeting. So yeah, that's us as a hub now. Gavin, I don't know, you want to talk about the NU Futures programme, so I'll give you a few minutes to do that now, if you wouldn't mind.
Brilliant, cheers, Josh. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. Just spend a few moments to take you through our programme and our provision at Newcastle United Foundation. Linking very heavily to the event and what we've been doing this year, our New Futures programme is aimed at Year 7 upwards. This offer is focused around employability and engaging young people to unlock their potential and plant the seed of potential future careers and raise aspirations for them. We've worked with upwards of 3,800 participants since we launched the programme in September, which provides school with a member of our team for 1 day a week for up to a full term. This mirrors your day in school. So if you've done a 5-lesson day, our members of staff will be there in school working with the groups that you select bespokely to access the provision, which is generally up to a 6-week block of work based around skills, qualities and employability skills as well. What we try to do is change the sort of old school careers provision and make it more engaging and interactive and bit different from what I had at school. I'm sure we've all had those careers advisors what didn't really provide us with the help that we needed. And we ultimately want to change that and make for a more fun and engaging experience, and hopefully inspire young people to unlock that potential. Through events like this, we'll get as much employer engagement linking in as well, but we'll also try and get people into schools as part of your delivery. So that is a bank of our employer partners that we work with who can come out and do sessions in school, whether they be assemblies or smaller group sessions. And we also looking to encourage, now the world's opening up a bit more, get some more site visits as well, so we can provide that opportunity for schools who are part of the programme to get groups out and about into local businesses, and again, just give them some experience to employability. With that as well, we've got a new facility where I am today, Newcastle. We're open. We have got a STEM room in the building, which has got a lot of kit in there. Part of that will be a VR experience where the young people will be able to put the virtual reality headsets on and be transported to some different employers to see what it's like working for the likes of LNER, Sage and the football club itself. We appreciate not everyone can do site visits and different things, but it is just trying to open it up to try and get people to engage in employability and raise aspirations in a different way. We've also got a full primary school and secondary school offer, which links to more targeted work as well. So if anyone's interested in them packages, I want to hear more about what we do, I'll put my email address in the chat. Please feel free to get in touch. Any questions, as has been mentioned, fire away and I'll try and answer anyone to come.
As we do, we'll come back in, we'll do about 20 miles and then come back in.
Thanks for that, Gavin. Now there is some. Well, I think they've just muted themselves. That's okay. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Gavin. That's great. Right. Okay. So for those who have just arrived and have missed that little introduction, we've just introduced who the North East STEM Hub are and who and how you can get involved with the Newcastle United Foundation as well. This session is recorded, so if you want to watch any of that back and you miss any of the start, you can do when we send that out in our YouTube channel in well, probably by the end of this week. But without further ado, I think we should get on to the nitty-gritty details of STEMFest Net Zero now. It is really great. We're really proud to be working on this event to get, you know, after the I think it's fair to say, gruesome couple of years that we've had with COVID-19, it's great to have a face-to-face event back where we can see excitement and enthusiasm in the students, meeting people from industry and doing some really exciting stuff at a really exciting venue. So, so yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go into the details for the information for the teachers out there. So, venue and parking. As you know, the event will take place at St James's Park in Newcastle. Hopefully you all know where that is, but it's easy to find on Google Maps if not. We would encourage, where possible, because of the theme of the event being net zero, we would encourage schools to use public transport where possible. However, we know that schools are travelling from different places and it's not always possible. So if you are arriving by coach, the coach drop-off point is in the tunnel, which is underneath the west stand of St James's Park. It's signposted as the Milburn reception and the players' entrance. So in between, that's where the coach will drop you off. And if you are arriving on a minibus, if you are on the primary day on the 4th or the first secondary day on the 5th of July, there is parking available for you at the TV Village, which is also on the west stand. If you don't know where that is, there will be stewards on hand on the day to direct teachers and minibuses into the right place. But the condition for that is that you must provide registration details before you attend. So if you do have registration details, if you're coming on a minibus, send the registration number to me and I'll be able to forward that on to the relevant person. If you are coming on Wednesday, the 6th of July, we don't have that space available on that day. So if we could ask for minibuses to please park at the Newcastle building. So it is literally on Diana Street, just a 5-10 minute walk up the road. You are welcome if you want to drop the students off with teacher at the reception area, which is at the same place where the coach drop-off point is. And then you could drive the coach up and walk back down, or you are welcome to park and walk down with all the students from the N Newcastle building. Again, if you type in N Newcastle on Google Maps, you can find that really easily, and there's plenty of parking spaces there for you. But that's only on the 6th of July that you need to worry about that. I will pause just quickly at the end of each slide just to check if there's been any questions, but I don't think there has been, so I'm happy just to rattle on with that.
Sorry, just to add that you are going to get an awful lot of information in this session, which you might be scribbling down notes and all the rest of it. Don't worry, it is being recorded, but also you will be provided with the school's information pack. So this will be available. So all of this information will be available on our website. So don't feel like you're not sure where your buses are going to park and what day or whatever. Just please rest assured that this information will all be available on the website. And actually on the day every teacher will have a brochure and it will give you the key pieces of information that you need to know on the day. So don't worry that we're throwing a lot at you at the end of your third day back. You know, you will be able to access our school information pack.
Thanks. Right, okay, so upon arrival, now to avoid bottlenecks and congestion, we will be giving schools advised arrival times. Now, it's not strict that you have to stick to that. It is purely just an advisory, just to try and spread out the arrival of schools, because if we get loads of schools arriving at the same time, then we will have a congestion at the registration desk, and it will be hard to get everyone in nice and easily. So yeah, we will have arrivals between 9:30 and 10 o'clock will be the allocated times, and the event is open from 9:30 in the morning until 3:30. You don't have to stay until 3:30 if your school has to get back for the closing of school and you have to leave a little bit early. That is absolutely fine, but the event is open until 3:30 p.m. Once you arrive, teachers must then report to the Milburn reception, where they will be greeted by event staff. Now, the event staff should be easy to find. We will be in bright green t-shirts, STEMFest Net Zero. We will also have a lanyard on as well to identify us as event staff. So yeah, please come in and report to reception. Teachers will then be provided with ID lanyards. So teachers will have their own lanyards so they can be identified as teachers. And as Claire just mentioned, we will be giving out an event brochure and a zone programme with the advised times for each school to visit the different zones. So the event is split up into 5 zones. We are going to talk about that now. If we have any questions before.
So there'll be lots of signage, there'll be lots of volunteers with t-shirts on. So we've got stewards, which will be helping the coaches, identifying where they need to go. So there'll be lots of people with green t-shirts to be able to help you with your visit and get you in. What we'll need when you get a reception is we just need to know the name of the school and also how many students you have with you. We do need to know how many students you have just because of our fire regulations. So we do need to know that.
Great. So yeah, the zone programme will be given advised times for your group to visit each zone. The 5 zones are power and natural resources, climate and adaptation, business and industry, buildings and construction, and transport. The advised time is that each school will spend 45 minutes in each zone. And at the minute, we have almost 50 exhibitors signed up to exhibit our event. So we're looking at nearly 10 different companies exhibiting in each zone, which is great. Great opportunity for your students to meet lots of different people there from industry. If you are interested to seeing which companies are going to be there, we have our STEMFest website. You can see the link to it there. Please go and visit the website. On the website, there's a tab, Meet Our Exhibitors, and you can go on and see the logos of all the different companies that are going to be there. So each company will be bringing an interactive hands-on activity for the students. Now, we basically want something really fun and exciting from every exhibitor. We've got all the activities in, and there's some really, really great examples. So Balfour Beatty are bringing a robot dog. Energy Central are bringing a virtual reality headset where you can fix wind turbines and actually work on a wind farm, doing some of the activities on there. Parker Hannafin are there with a water filtration system. The Royal Mail are there. They are bringing a thermal imaging camera, so you can have a look and see what's in the bag without opening the bag. So yeah, loads of good activities for the students to get involved in, which should be really great fun. So yes, lunchtime for the day. So the lunchtime will be between 12:20 and 12:50 p.m. And that will be in the Platinum Suite. Students and teachers are to bring their own packed lunches. We can't provide lunch, unfortunately. The only policy we have as regards to lunch is that there are no nuts in everyone's packed lunch. If there is someone who isn't on mute, if they wouldn't mind just unmuting themselves, that would be great. But yeah, that's the plan for lunch. So yeah, no nuts, please. Anyone's had lunch because we just want to be safe, better safe than sorry. And yes, just as well, just a piece of note for getting around the building. The toilets, for example, the public toilets. St James's Park is a public building. We do have the lanyards so that we can identify people, so we won't be letting anyone from the public into the event. But just to note that teaching staff will be responsible for the students at all times during the event. So yeah, that responsibility will be down to the teacher. Okay, so on the facilities now, St John's Ambulance have been booked. They will be in attendance and they will have their own designated first aid room, which is in the barracks area. Now, the barracks area is on the second floor of St James's Park, and there are 3 zones within the barracks area. So it will be a busy area. It's handily placed, and the St John's Ambulance staff will be there if anyone needs them. There will be a quiet room as well. So if you have any students with additional needs and the event's just a little bit too much and they need a little bit of a timeout, there is a quiet room that you will be able to use. And we also have a prayer room as well available for use on the days of the event. Be careful what you pack because there is no storage available at St James's Park. So, by all means, bring a little bag with a notebook or anything, but please don't expect us to be able to store anything anywhere if there isn't any space available. COVID-19 is starting to feel like it's almost behind us now, but we do still have procedures in place to make it as COVID friendly as possible. So there will be hand sanitizers available around the building for students to use. Face masks are not a requirement, but they are basically down to personal choice. If your students feel more comfortable, if you feel more comfortable with your students wearing face masks, they're entirely all right to do so, but that is not a requirement. And because of the zone programme and the advised times, we will be expecting the schools to stay within the same group the whole day and travel around with the same schools to each zone, which just ensures that there is minimal group mixing. Again, just to be as COVID-19 safe as possible. Is there any more questions there? Oh.
Yeah, so I think the important thing to mention is the students must be supervised at all times, even if they nip to the loo or whatever. They do need to be supervised at all times, and also you must stick together. So we can't have students just wandering around the exhibition and going where they need to. Obviously, one of them is just to reduce that risk of COVID. But also there are certain capacities within each room, and we're trying to obviously work within those remits. So really, just to say, if you can keep the students with you. I know some of you are bringing groups of 90, and if you have enough staff to subdivide those, but we'll try and get you all together. But once you're in the zone, you can subdivide into smaller groups. We just need you to move between zones in your school groups, however big the party size is.
Great, thanks, Claire. Okay, so some additional details for the event. We will be having a photographer and a film crew on site during the event. Now, understand that some of your students might not be allowed to appear in any media. If you could let us know which students they are when you arrive, we will be issuing red lanyards to those students. They will have the lanyards on. Our photographers and film crew will be briefed before the event starts to make sure that nobody with a red lanyard appears in any of the media. So just let you know that is the plan in terms of photography and film as well, to make sure that we don't get anyone in who shouldn't be in any of the pictures. And to assist with identification as well, if we could ask for students to wear their school uniform. Again, it's just to make sure it is a public building, but we are going to try and stop anyone getting into the event if we don't know who they are. So if students could please wear school uniform, that would be great. Again, I know Claire mentioned before, there will be event information going onto our website. Now, we will be including a social media pack. So I know a lot of your schools will have Twitter accounts. Please, we would encourage you to use that and to be tweeting about the event. We want it to, be trending on Twitter ideally. But yeah, we will have a social media pack which will have logos and have recommended tweets as well. Just recommended hashtags and things that you can use for the event. So if you are using any social media to promote the event or to tell about your experience at STEMFest, please use the information in the social media pack. And we have also contracted NU STEM to perform an independent evaluation of the event. So some schools might be contacted either prior to or after the event. It'll just be a case of filling in a questionnaire about the students' experience and student expectations of STEMFest Net Zero. So yeah, if you do get in touch, that would be really great if you could support with that. Now, I did send an email out. I do appreciate it was just before your half-term break. Now, I'm sure you were really excited for that break. So some of you might not have picked up the email, but everyone should have received a programme for some CPD. So as part of the event, we worked with our local network partners to put on some CPD. So that is with the Science Learning Partnerships for North and South of the region, and the Computing at School hubs for North and South of the region as well. So between the 27th and the 30th of June, there is a range of free CPD sessions that you can sign up to. We would really encourage you to do that. Everyone should have the email in their inbox. It was sent to everyone who had registered and booked tickets for STEMFest Net Zero. So if you are interested in attending any of the CPD sessions, or if someone in your school would be interested, please do forward that on to the relevant person so they can sign up. And a question that I have been getting a lot recently, and I fully understand, is that, you know, for your trips, you need to have the risk assessment. So we are 95% of the way there. However, what we've said is we will, I know some of you just need like a generic risk assessment. So we will be uploading what we've got so far in terms of risk assessments and safeguarding policy up to our website. And then once we have all the final confirmed details, we'll update that on the website, and I'll send another email out just to say, you know, we have issued out the complete risk assessment for the event now. The risk assessment that we have now will cover the venue, and it will also cover the vast majority of our exhibitors. So and the activities that they're bringing. So I know some of you will need to upload a risk assessment to get your approval for the trip. We will get that done for you this week, and it'll be on our STEMFest website. Again, you can see the link there, and Claire's put the link to that in the chat as well. Now I think there's a question just come through there.
Yeah, it's whether I have my glasses on for the question or my glasses off. So glasses off for this one. So is there a letter template to send to parents inviting the children to the event? Seem to have everything else in hand, so thought I'd ask. We have got a template which we have used before. So again, we can just upload this to our website. It saves people, you know, emailing us and us backwards and forwards and stuff like that. So yeah, so we can put all the juicy bits in there, the sort of the idea behind the event, the whole ethos of the event, and you know, really encourage those kids to come along, because it is going to be something quite special. On the 6th, did I mention this, or is it just year 7 students?
Yeah. So yeah, the 6th is year 7 and 8 students, and so is the 5th of July. So the 5th and 6th are the secondary days for year 7 and 8. The primaries are on the 4th of July, the Monday, and that is years 5 and 6. For that, please. So yeah, that should answer that question. Okay, and that is it. So thank you again for attending the session. We are really, really excited to be working in partnership with the Newcastle United Foundation to put this event on. I guess thank yous would go to our headline sponsors, Sage, and the sponsors that you can see as well along the bottom of our screen. This session has been recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email address is there, but you should have it already, as I've obviously been in correspondence with you for booking onto the event. And yeah, we really look forward to welcoming you on the 4th, 5th and 6th. We will hang around for some extra questions, which will still be part of the recording. So let's see if any of them come through. Yeah. Just had one there, yeah.
So I'm sure you've got loads of questions. So we've gone through the nuts and bolts of the exhibition there. Just as Josh has said, we couldn't do this without our sponsors. So headline sponsor is Sage. You know, so thanks to them. North of Tyne Combined Authority as well. They have funded the exhibition. These things aren't cheap to put on. Jacobs, Doggerbank Wind Farm, Belford Beatty and Accenture as well. So they've really contributed to sort of the financial side of the event. So a massive thanks to them. They will all be exhibiting as well. So that just gives you a flavour of some of the exhibitors. I was just going to go through a few more because I think their logos are on our website. So again, if you go to stemfest.org.uk, you will see, here are our exhibitors, and then you'll see all the logos of the companies that are coming along. And I guess just to sort of rattle through a few of them. So let me get the most up to date spreadsheet. Yeah, so we've got Doggerbank Wind Farm, we've got JDR Cables, Opito, Siemens Gamesa. So a lot on the renewable sector. We've got Energy Central and all the Port of Blyth companies coming along. We've got the Environment Agency, Northumberland County Council, the Centre for Life, Jacobs. We've got Oasis coming. We've got GSK, Venator, Royal Mail, Sage, Newcastle Building Society, Accenture, obviously Newcastle United Foundation. We've got Arup, Bulmer and Kirkland, Sir Robert McAlpine, Tarmac, Atkins, Balfour Beatty, Esh Group, Nissan, Unipress, Mott MacDonald. So a huge range of companies that will be exhibiting that you'll be able to actually visit and participate in the activity. So, you know, really lots and lots of stuff to be looking at. Let's go back to the questions. Right, so the use of toilets at the event. So so the event is split over 3 levels. One level is purely the lunch area, which is going to be in the Platinum Suite. So that's kind of where all the refreshment side of things is going to be. And then on the other 2 levels is where we've got the exhibition. So those of you who are familiar with St James's Park, there are 3 zones, zone 1, 2 and 3, which will be in the Barracks Suite, and zones 4 and 5, which will be up on the next level, which will be in the Heroes and the Moncur room. So the toilets, so basically there are toilets throughout the building. It is a public space, however, we are making sure that everybody is lanyarded and either in their group with a uniform on, with a teacher, with a teaching assistant, or an exhibitor or a visitor. So in terms of safeguarding, there will be nobody on those levels that shouldn't be on those levels. And also, again, please ensure that all children are supervised at all times. If we see any children wandering around on their own, we will stop them and ask them to go back to their party. Again, that's probably just a relief for yourselves, but also we can't have them just wandering around, you know, willy-nilly through the exhibition. Toilets, as I said, there are loads of toilets, and there are toilets right outside all of the exhibition areas. So they will be used by the students. When will we receive the advised arrival and zone times? So Josh.
So yeah, the zone times, you will get the zone brochure on the daily drive. In terms of arrival times, I can get that done by the end of next week.
Yeah, so the arrival times will be 9:30, 9:45 and 10 o'clock. I've just seen in the chat that, you know, people have got buses booked. Just let us know what time you think you're going to get there. I know we can say 9:30. Sometimes schools can't get there till 10 o'clock. Some arrive a little bit earlier, some arrive a little bit later, but we'll manage that on the day. I understand there might be traffic. I understand people might be late getting on the buses. We will manage that as much as possible on the day. But if people can try and stick to the 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock slots, that would make our life a lot easier. But if you get there at a different time, we'll just manage that on the day. We will have a lot of staff around to do that.
Yeah, and the risk assessment will be going on at the website this week, so you will have something to submit. I do apologise for the fact that your risk assessment was due last Monday. We have got 95% of it. We were holding out to get 100, but we understand now that the schools need the risk assessment, so we will get that on the website by the end of this week. I can notify you if you want, or you can keep checking. That's entirely up to you. But yeah, the risk assessment will be going on the website this week.
Yeah, I think we'll get that up. Whether the delay with the risk assessment has been, obviously we have to approve it from our side, and then we need the venue approval, and then they've got all their so it has taken an awful long time. And then obviously we need to get all the exhibitor risk assessments, and we need but I absolutely totally appreciate where you're coming from, and we will get what we've got up. The venue one is very comprehensive. Unfortunately, it's about 36 pages long. We don't expect you to read through all of it. It is just your usual slips and trips and hazards of being in a venue, but it is very comprehensive. So I think we've thought about absolutely everything on that, but that will be uploaded.
I'll send an email out as soon as that's been done. I see people have been requesting that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I absolutely understand. We've just had a few delays with a few people wanting to. We'll get there. We'll get there with the risk assessment. So you'll get what we've got at the minute, which is as Josh says, is pretty much 90% there.
Okay.
It's going to be fab. We are hoping, well, we will have, I don't know if those of you are familiar with Dallas Campbell. So Dallas Campbell's a northeast lad. He grew up in Gosforth. He does a lot of stuff on the telly, supersized animals. He's done
It's the gadget show.
Gadget show. He's all over the place, but he's coming up with us on the 4th, so he will be around in the exhibition for those that are coming on the Monday. He, unfortunately, due to TV commitments, he can't do the Tuesday and the Wednesday. And we also have a young girl from Whitley Bay who's very passionate about climate change and net zero, and so she will be actually speaking on all 3 days during the lunch break. She's got a very powerful story to tell, and she's very passionate, and she's 13 years old. And even saying that, I've got shivers. It will be something quite special. So she's going to be delivering a talk to the young people while they're munching through their sandwiches and their crisps and stuff. And just to reiterate, it's a net zero event, and we are aiming for this event to be completely net zero, even down to the fact that we're asking people to use public transport wherever possible. We've got a group of kids who are cycling in from Wallsend because they don't want to use it. You don't want to come on a bus, so they're coming on their bikes, which is amazing. We're asking all the exhibitors to come on public transport. Obviously, there will be some carbon emissions. We will be offsetting those. So we will ask the schools, we'll ask the exhibitors, we'll ask for any volunteers to let us know what their carbon footprint has been as a result of coming to this exhibition. We are printing on PP, so polypropylene, so we're printing on recyclable material as well. So we will get an emissions, what emissions that we've had as a result of this event. And then we will be offsetting that. So we will be donating some money to an organisation such as the Woodland Trust or whoever, who will then offset by planting trees. So we will aim for this event to be completely net zero, and your help with that would be amazing. So if you can kind of just consider that when you're planning your travel. Obviously, some schools have to get buses, but we would like to know what engine size, we'd like to know what fuel the bus is using and how many young people were in the bus. And then we'll be able to offset that carbon emission. But I don't want to throw too much at you on that basis. We will follow this up after the event, and we'll have a total of carbon emissions, and then we will offset that. So your help with that would be really appreciated.
I don't know, Gavin, if you've got any closing remarks.
No, not at all. Everything is being well and truly covered. The facility at the stadium, for those of you who have never been for an event, it is kitted out with all the things that you've requested, toilet access. The team on both parties have put a lot of work and effort into making sure that this is going to be an amazing event. The zones and the different companies in them and the activities sound fantastic. I'm sure your young people and participants will have a really good and enjoyable day. And I hope that, like I said earlier, it might inspire them to potentially move into a future career of down one of the pathways that of the employers that are there. So again, my email's in the chat. If you've got any questions in hindsight or anything that comes to you later on, please feel free to drop me an email, and we'll get back to you.
Great, thanks, Gavin.
Yeah, so we'll just hang on if anyone wants to, you know, maybe put a question in the chat or unmute or something. I'm happy for that to happen. We're just very passionate about the fact it's net zero. It's going to probably be the biggest education event in the Northeast this year. And so we have 1,200 young people coming every day for 3 days, so 3,600 young people and their teachers over 3 days, plus around 50 exhibitors. So as Josh said, would like to get trending on Twitter if possible. And just thank you for your support, because I know it takes an awful lot of paperwork and an awful lot of effort for schools to be able to get these kids out. But, you know, we do appreciate it. And there's so much fantastic stuff. Like, 10 minutes drive away from where I am. They're jobs for your young people, but they just don't know that they're there. So if we can just inspire, you know, a group of young people that can talk to these businesses and understand they don't have to go to London, they don't have to go to Manchester, they can stay here and to get some cracking jobs that are going to pay good money, and you know, set them up for the rest of their lives. So let's just hope we can inspire a few young people on the day, because I'm sure we will.
Great. That's excellent. Right, well, thanks everyone for coming. Like I say, we'll hang around for a couple of minutes to answer any more questions, and then we'll stop the recording once everyone's gone. But we're really excited to see you all on the 4th, 5th and 6th.